Okay, next chakra, heading straight up the body, is the solar plexus chakra. It is in the stomach area above the navel. The element and sense that has to do with this chakra is fire and sight. It is of yellow color. The note or frequency that has to do with this chakra is E. It has to do with the pancreas. It controls liver, digestive system, stomach, spleen, gallbladder, automatic nervous system, lower back, and muscles. Some of the stones that can help with this area is amber, citrine, tiger's eye, topaz, and yellow sapphire. Bergamot, carnation, lavender, and rosemary are some oils that can support this area. This chakra governs personal power, social identity, influence, authority, self-control, energy, will, peace, radiance, joy, inner harmony, acceptance of self, strength, action, and vitality. Some of the affirmations that go with this chakra is: I accept myself completely. I am full of radiant light and energy. My personal power is growing stronger every day. I can statements are connected to this. The foods that are connected with the solar plexus chakra: bananas, corn, eggs, grapefruit, lemons, marrow, parsnips, pineapples, yams, and yellow peppers. When this chakra is balanced, things in life and people just seem to fall in place and respond. You know people like this. If it is blocked, this area concerns emotions and one's power over self and others. One may be giving away one's power or buckling in front of authority. If it is closed, it results in feeling a lack of power over life and surroundings. It typically results in a sense of threat from any authority, and would result in either buckling or having to go into total resistance. If it is too expanded, it indicates an attempt to exert unreasonable control over life in general, or in some aspect or specific individual or event. This chakra is said to be developed from the ages of 2.5 to 4.5. The concepts are fear and self-esteem. This chakra affects beliefs relating to cognitive development, self, and the world, and formative beliefs about the world and our place in it. Holds beliefs about power, abilities, and how we affect our environment. Origin of fears and self-esteem. Gaining control of physical functions and developing the mind-body connection. It relates to the soul's ability to make an impact on the world and achieve success. The third chakra stores and implements biases, judgments, and prejudices about ourselves and about others. At age 3, we have confusion about fantasy and reality, trying to label feelings, can mislabel feelings, can store feelings under different emotion points, pleasers, big helpers, needs recognition in growth. Again, I bring up these traits from these ages because these might be areas that we are stuck. Age 4 has to do with joy and self-expression. Experiments with manipulation to get what they want. Which is interesting because the child that I adopted, who we had a lot of problems with, was age 4 when she came into our home and had a problem with that. Really important to do what they are told by an authority figure, or the opposite, resistance to that. Learning about listening, experimenting with self-expression, really want to be listened to. Can be controlling about their joy. In awe of the world and what is around them, wants everyone to see and experience what they are seeing in their world. 4-year-olds' main desire is to have joy. They may try to fix everything and everybody so that nothing will interfere with their having joy. This chakra has to do with the stomach. Digestion is the breakdown of food into nutrients in your body that your body can use. It starts in your mouth, and you chew your food to a thick paste, and it gets down into your stomach. When you swallow, food travels. Could probably skip this part. Okay, so heartburn is connected to this. Emotional connection to the stomach. Sense of security, feels threatened, fears new ideas, lack of affection, condemning the success of other people, and unhappy feelings. The diaphragm, a sheet-like dome of muscle and connective tissue that separates the thoracic and abdominal cavities. The emotions connected to the diaphragm would include rejecting the flow of life and or life is monotonous. Pancreas also connected. The emotions connected to the pancreas include fear, worry, and feeling out of control. Also, there can be feelings of no joy in life and suppressed laughter, feelings of judgment, guilt, and low self-esteem. The pancreas can also be connected to the misuse of ego. Okay, there's a lot in the yellow, so I'll try to go through it quickly. Some of the positive statements for stomach. All my needs are satisfied. I have fulfilling relationship goals. I appreciate others. I feel noticed, appreciated, and loved. I fit in beneficially. I recognize how I fit in. I am at peace. I am content and blessed. I am discreet. I have sufficient money to meet my needs. This has to do with the balance of male and female energy. And we already talked about some of the male. I have smooth relationships. I have calming effect on others. I encourage and soothe. I am peaceful. I am wise. I am financially secure. And the female, I trust. I give others freedom. I make and keep peace. I share my feelings. I trust God. I trust others. I recognize when it is appropriate to trust. I encourage others. I yield to the proper authority. I have goods when I need them. The spleen is also connected. And there are so many. I think I'm just going to kind of go through gallbladder, small intestine, liver. Liver has to do with anger a lot. Gallbladder, bitterness, anger, wanting to force things, and a spirit of condemnation or wishy-washy or indecision can do with the gallbladder, but also that's related to brain tumor, so it could be one or the other. Gallstones represent feelings of condemnation, stubbornness, or unyielding, feelings of pride, refusing to forgive. The small intestine, the feelings that are connected to that, inability to assimilate and absorb the new in life, wanting to live in the past, desire to stay in the comfort zone. Okay, so these are some of the things that have to do with the sacral chakra. So hopefully you can find support in that area if any of that sounds like you.